Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. So I have a video that I think is really fun for you guys. I know I thought I was gonna go out and do something like Christmassy and vlog, but instead I decided to do this, so bear with me. I hope you guys enjoy it. The other day I was watching a fellow YouTuber, and that was Christy over at Christy's Corner. Definitely go check out her channel. She's super sweet. I'm gonna link all of her information down below. But she was making Disney Christmas ornaments, and I just got so excited. So originally I had planned on making like a Disney wreath for you guys. Had it all planned out in my head, like the concept. I ordered a couple of pieces for it, and then I planned to get all of the kind of like wreathy materials at Michael's. And well, as much as I love like living in a big city and like living in a city, like we are downtown, usually that means there's only one of each store in basically the entire like Chicago area. I would have to travel about like 40 minutes to go out to the suburbs to get to like my next closest counterparts for everything. So I didn't want to go to Michael's on Black Friday because like that would just be crazy. I just couldn't even deal with it. So I went like a few days afterwards, like after that weekend was over and the madness had died down, and like the wreath section was so picked over. They barely had anything. Most of what they had left were just like broken little bits, and it was super sad. So I am not making a wreath video this year. But when I saw Christy's video, I got so happy because why didn't I think of that? Ornaments. Honestly, I actually have an Etsy shop. It is nothing Disney related, so I don't ever really talk about it. But one of the items that I used to sell were ornaments. So I figured this would be just a really fun way to make a couple of cute Disney themed ornaments and show you guys how to do it as well, because it is like so stinking easy. Like really easy. So of course I had to make an ornament for me, an ornament for Johnny, and then while I was at Michael's they had an ornament that totally looked like Spaceship Earth, so I went with that as well. And I created these three little fun guys. So I'm gonna take you step by step. They kind of go from like easiest to hardest over here with Marie. So I will walk you through how to make these if you want to make them yourself. Alright guys, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to make our ornaments glittery. So I picked up a couple of clear craft kind of DIY ornaments. I just grabbed these at Michael's, but you can definitely pick them up at any craft store. So to make these ornaments, you're gonna need something that's going to bond the glitter to the ornament. I use polycrylic. That's what I've been using for the past like year or two since I've been making these. I know some people also use floor cleaner. I think that only works if there's wax in it because it needs like something to stick onto. I am not entirely sure. I can't give you any advice on that route just because this is my tried and true. And then you're of course also going to need some glitter. So I've also just picked up these from Michael's, and this is just going to be totally based on the designs and characters that you want to make. So I've got these little dishes here just so that I can stand my ornaments up in them while they're drying. And I've also put down a paper towel just because this does tend to get a little messy. So we are going to start with the easiest ornament first, and that is going to be our little Spaceship Earth inspired ornament. So for this, all we need to do is take the top of the ornament off, and then we are going to pour the polycrylic inside and swirl it around. And also, I am not sure if I mentioned this or not, but glass or plastic ornaments both work. Whoops, sorry, that's what happens when I am talking to you guys and doing this. But yes, you're gonna wanna put a really nice amount in the bottom of your ornament, and then you are going to just swirl it around so that every side is covered. Once you've thoroughly covered all of the sides, you can go ahead and just pour the extra back into your container. You should be able to just kind of look around at the ornament, make sure that all surfaces are covered. Polycrylic is a bit milky looking until it dries, so it makes it really easy to tell if you have missed a spot. And it also gives this a chance to start drying just a little bit before you go ahead and pour glitter in it. So then you will go ahead and take your glitter. I am using silver because this is going to be Spaceship Earth, and you're just going to pour, again, a really good amount inside. And then you're just gonna shake it up until it covers every single part of the ornament. So you can see, even in like those like couple of shakes, our ornament is pretty much covered already. Just give it a little more just to make sure. You can spin it around and check. Make sure you are all nice and covered. So once you are happy with the coverage and you don't need to add any more glitter, I'm actually just going to set this in this little dish that I've brought out so that it can start to dry. And that is seriously it. So when that finishes drying, I'll be able to just pop the top back on and then we're going to be done. So now we're gonna take it a step further and I'm gonna show you how to make some character ornaments. So obviously from the intro of this video, you saw that I was making a little alien for Johnny and then Marie for me. So let's go ahead and start with Marie. Again, we are swirling the polyacrylic. Since this one doesn't have all of the shapes and texture of the spaceship Earth, it is a lot easier to see what I mean about covering it. And we will pour out any extra. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and start to fill this last one as well, just giving it a little more time to start to dry. So I find that any sort of character who is white takes a lot more glitter than you think it's going to, just to get a really good coverage. So I'm just gonna pour most of this in here and then start shaking it. Sometimes you might need to do 2 coats because you'll find that the glitter might start to clump a little bit. So then I'm just gonna leave it there to dry. Now it is time for our little alien friend's turn. So here you can see the green just covers way faster. So now we are good to let these dry and then we will get to decorate them in a little bit. All right, so everything should be just about dry. This one is honestly just going to be the easiest because to finish this, all we have to do is put the little top back on. So now we are done and we have our Spaceship Earth themed ornament. Maybe I'll even like take a piece of like foam and hot glue some legs on this at a later time. I don't know, but I was just super excited when I saw this shape at Michael's and thought that it was really cute. So we can go ahead and set this one aside. Now we are left with these two. I am going to work with the alien first just because that is going to be the easier of the two. So I went ahead and I printed some little like vinyl pieces so that we can make our little alien's face. Now I did print these using my Silhouette machine, but honestly the alien is so easy, like it's just mainly a bunch of circles and then whatever kind of expression or shape that you want for his mouth. So you could totally do this one by hand. Same with if you're doing like other really like easy characters, like Baymax could totally cut by hand, like Mike Wazowski, like those are all super simple, which is why I am going to show you how to put together the alien first. So I do have a piece of transfer tape here for the vinyl. So first I'm going to kind of put his eyes together. So I'm gonna cover his pupil. Normally this would work better if you have like a credit card or something to like easily kind of press this down, but you know what, we are improvising. So now I've got the little black parts of his eye right here and I am going to line them up with how I would like them on the actual whites of his eye. And again, we're just gonna layer that down, press nice and hard. Look, looks like him already. So now that this is all pressed together, we should be able to peel off everything at once, making it look super professional. We're gonna take our little ornament, and I feel like right about here in the kind of fuller part, so not like dead center, but a little bit north of there, I guess, and I am going to just press down each eye individually and just make sure it is on there really well. And now we are just going to pull away our transfer tape. And he has eyes, yay! So now to add his little mouth. So Johnny convinced me that the mouth had to be in a darker green. I originally was gonna go with like a black or maybe like a really dark gray, but he is the alien expert, so he made me change plans and make the mouth in a really dark green color. Piece of transfer tape, pop it over the mouth and smooth it out, press it down, make sure everything is easy to stick. And now it's just a matter of lining up his mouth. And just a little tip, if you are working with vinyl, I line it up, but I don't just like press it down, and then I will press down the very center and then slowly work my way to the outsides just to ensure that there's gonna be no bubbles, especially when you're working on like a curved object like ornaments. So now I'm gonna go ahead and smooth out this side. Because it's one thing if like the transfer tape like bubbles up and like folds over itself, like that does not even matter. But as long as our vinyl part is smooth and flush to the ornament, that is what we want. Yay! So now we can peel that away and look at that! We have our little green Toy Story alien inspired ornament. Oh my gosh, I feel like Johnny is just going to love this when he comes home and sees it. Or honestly, like when I upload this video and he watches it at work. So we will set this guy aside now. And we will move on to Marie. So Marie is going to be a lot more complex. I designed the file for her in my Silhouette software again, and I'm not really sure you could cut this one by hand. You can try, for sure. But otherwise, if you don't have a Silhouette and you're like super into crafting and making things, like definitely look at picking one up. So Marie I've kind of divided into sections because, I mean, there's like a lot of her. So we've got her eyes, the colored part of her eyes, her little mouth and whiskers, her nose, and then also her collar is gonna go at the very end. So I am going to start with her eyes because this needs to be layered. So for this, you're gonna need to cut a piece of transfer tape that is a little bit larger than this. All right, so first we are going to press down again. Make sure everything is nice and secure on our transfer tape. And then we're gonna peel this away and we're going to carefully layer this over the blue so that she has a little bit of color in her eyes. And then we will peel this all off together and we will pick a nice spot on our ornament to place her. Because we still have like her whiskers and her collar, we don't want to go too low on this. So I'm gonna put her eyes about the same spot as the alien. So again, we are just placing the middle of the vinyl down and then we are going to carefully rub on each individual element so that there is no bubbling, making sure that everything is nice and flat. And now carefully we can pull that away. Again, if anything just starts to come up when you are pulling away the transfer tape, especially with little pieces, sometimes that's a little difficult. Just like rub it back down with your nail and perfect. We're going to add her mouth and whiskers. Again, just using the same piece of transfer tape. Some people are really particular that they want a new piece of tape for every little thing. I generally don't find that necessary at all. And now we will grab her little pink nose. And her collar. And there is our little Marie face. So now last, because it is Marie and not just any cat, I am going to tie her a little bow. And I am going to hot glue this across the top. Just like that. We'll trim off any extra ribbon. and now we are finished. Alright guys, so that is it for today. If you have any questions about how to make these, like I'm gonna leave all of like what you need and everything down below, but definitely reach out if you do make them. Like please like send me a picture on like Instagram or something, because I would just really love to see like what you come up with, like the characters you choose to make, how you design them, stuff like that. So always really excited to see other little DIY Disney projects out there. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. I will see you guys tomorrow for the 13th day of Vlogmas. Oh my gosh, like we are at the halfway point right now. That is just like insane. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!